And welcome, this is going to be a Cosmoteer, Starship Architect and Commander basic starting guide and the best ship to start with and how to modify it at the start of the game. So let's get started right here and start a new game up. And when you start the new game up there, switch it to Captain and Architect. That's the normal settings. They start you off on easy. You have 3 different ships to choose from at the start. The Model L, it has the lasers. Lasers in this game have a longer range, and then the cannons and stuff like that. So this is how you can outrange guys. And of course, you have all your thrusters on here, and all these parts cost the same. Disassembling your ship and assembling it again and moving stuff around, it is free to do. All the parts are going to have the same amount of value, and you get all your money back when you remove your parts. There's no losses there at all. And then you got the different model right here. As you see, this one has cannons. Cannons don't use power. That's their positive, and they have more hit points. But yeah, they are they use ammo, and they have the lower range. And then you got the heavy armor, which slows your ship down too, making this one here the most inferior design for cost-wise, even though you start with a little bit more money. The next one right here is the Model S, and that means for you start with a shield. Now, all the blueprints on this game, if your ship starts with it, you get out those blueprints. Now, the blueprints for stuff like cannons and lasers are only worth 1,000, but the shield generator is 2,500. So if you start the game with this one right here, you start with a shield, so you got defensive. Plus, you get to save that money on buying the shield generator. And at the start of the game, half your money spent on a shield generator is going to save you quite a little bit in the long run. But overall, yeah, starting with the ship and then building it up, you're going to be losing about half that money anyways, versus the other model right there, the Model L. So this one here is going to have more value at the start, but you're still going to have to buy the shields, and if you buy the shields, it's going to end up losing 1,000. So you're going to have a little bit better ship at the start, but you're not going to have the shield generator, the value of that. So it's going to be back and forth. And plus, this ship only starts with 8 crew, and the other one only starts with 6 crew. So you're going to have more crew on the ship, and then more crew is going to be a little bit more. It's going to save you money too, because those two crew members, extra crew members, are going to cost you money to buy at the start if you want to, modify your ship. So let's get started on the easier one to do right here, the Model L. This one's a little bit easier to modify and worry about, because you're going to be worried about outranging the guys in this game. You're going to build your ships to outrange guys is probably the best tactic, the easiest tactic to do. So when you start the game out like this is your solar system. Just pause it with your space bar. So this is your solar system. The sun is bad, don't go in there, you'll burn up and die. You got some signals in here, you got lots of quests everywhere, your hypergate travels and stuff like this. And around this ring right here is a whole bunch of resources. You can mine resources in this game, and you might need a mining laser for most of them, like gold and stuff like that you can find throughout it. And of course, there's asteroid little belts in there too that you can find too, asteroid little sections that you can find and mine too. And of course, killing all the ships, you mine all the resources. All the ships in this game have the same thing for resources that you have. So the space station, for example, it uses all the same mechanics that you have for your ship right here. So if I started destroying all this armor right here, it's just fancy looking armor, I would get the armor would all drop off there, and then I could collect it, and I could destroy all these lasers and get all the parts off those lasers. I could destroy the space station right now if I wanted to, except I'd lose the fight probably, because it's got other small cannon bases out here, but you can destroy those with lasers. That is the fun function down here if you wanted to. These you can outrange these cannons with your ship, and destroy them and not worry about it. So you can destroy all this stuff right here and then collect all the resources. Of course, they'll be mad at you. Don't do that at the start of the game. That's not, that'd be a bad idea. But we can move in here a little bit closer to the space station just because and get started on this game. So we've got lots of different functions on here. You can build a whole new ship from scratch, and then you got your quest that you can pick and choose from on all that kind of stuff. And that's your galaxy map, and then your basic menus for your, the basic commands, stuff like that. But get onto your comms, and you can hail the space station right here. Just take a look. You can pick these quests up as much as you want. You don't even have to pick up the quest. If you do these quests, you still get credit for doing them. You just got to come back to the station and then accept the quest, and then you get the reward and accept the reward basically. So you don't have to pick up these quests. You could just go out there and do everything, kill everything hostile, come back, and you'll get the rewards type of thing. Same for the exploring quest. But here is the crew where we maxed out, and then your trading station, the crew, you don't have to worry about them having different skills or anything like that yet. It is just based on your fame. You get more fame by actually completing those quests, and then you can have more crew members and stuff like that. But right now, it doesn't matter if your crew member has 10,000 fame or 0 fame for hiring them, they still do the same thing, and that kind of thing. So, you know, that's the resources the space station has. That's all basic stuff, and then of course there's the blueprints right there. Should have gone that, showed you that right there. So these are all the blueprints you can buy currently right now. There's not too many. Basically, you're going to want to go there and get mining laser type of a thing, and then go get all these other things. That's different sections, like lasers, and this one has mining lasers up at the top of it. And then some things are double stacked on here, so don't worry about it. Right here, and a shield generator that costs money to buy, all that kind of stuff. But let's go into the ship designs, try and make the speed this along. So you go in here and you edit your ship, and this is what you start with. You have to worry about your crew members and their pathways. They have to take power from the power core and bring it to your weapons. So the pathways matter, the speed matters, and how they can move across everything, and all that kind of stuff. So you need crew members close to your weapons and close to your engines and stuff like that. But as you can see, this design isn't, using the three-way thrusters would be a lot better than the two-way thrusters. But of course, you get the double on the sides here. But we don't really need that. And of course, we're missing lasers here. So we've got some editing to do, and let's get started on that. So the easiest way to edit is going to this button right here to your blueprint mode, so you can edit freely without actually, having to worry about actually doing anything and breaking it. So right now, this ship looks sloppy, and we want to maximize it up and see what we can do with it. So let's go there, and it'll be a lot simpler than just moving stuff around and showing you the step-by-step directions of moving it. That is basically point and click and move stuff around. You can do that at any time right there. It'll be a little bit faster if we just come in here and we load up our design that we did. So this is the design that I came up with as the best one I could come up with, basically, and I'm still holding something I don't want to hold. Let's click on this. There you go, get rid of that. There we go. So yeah, we added on our lasers. We have extra thrusters over here, and what we added was a whole bunch of reverse thrusters. We added the standard thrusters going the other reverse direction, and we have extra ones going. Before we had one thruster pointing reverse. Now we have 3 of them basically, a big one and 2 small ones instead of just one small one. So we can go backwards just as fast as we can go forward, which means we can outrange guys, stop on a dime, and turn around and just go backwards. And fly backwards is the way to do it. So you just fly backwards, shoot them at the longer range lasers, so any cannon ship you come across is not going to do anything to you. It's not going to even touch you. You can just easy kill, basically. You see a cannon ship, you see those cannon point defense systems, so yeah, it's like easy. That's easy loot, basically. Now, you have to worry about doorways and pathways like this, but since these ones here are all in the green, and we got barely enough doorways to cover it in there to make it more efficient and stuff like that, and we have enough stuff in there. So the crew members can be assigned to different roles and stuff like that. It can be picky and stuff like that, but we don't have to worry about that if we have enough crew members to manage it. And right here's your command points. We're not even close to being using enough yet for our ship because it's so small. And its suggested is 11. So that suggestion is running everything at the same time. So we don't need that suggestion. It is just nice to have it. So it's nice to get your suggested amount, but you don't need it, because we're not going to be going backwards and forwards at the same time, so we don't need people resupplying both of these engines at the same time, and there's 3 of them, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so we don't need those guys replacing 6 engines at once, just the other 3, just the 3 basically. But with the double thrusters, at least they're, more efficient at least. But anyways, this value right here, the -400, is how much we're spending buying materials off of the space station, and we did this on purpose because the 2 crew members we're going to hire are going to cost close to $1,000 to do it. So as you can see, there's no defenses on this thing whatsoever. It's just the hit points that the lasers have, which is okay for hit points. 4,000 is okay to deal with. But we're going to be focused on outraging guys and out lasering guys. So they're going to have 2 lasers, we're going to have 4 lasers type of a thing. So we're going to destroy their lasers off a lot faster than they're going to be able to destroy ours, and then you're going to be pretty much safe on them once you destroyed that main threat on their ships. So this is my most efficient design for cost efficiency. It's got to have an airlock on your ships, and a fire extinguisher is optional. It's good to have one. But yeah, so this is a really fast, really maneuverable ship, and we have extra space here, which is important for upgrading on the fly. So once you have your stuff and you collect loot in your cargo bays, you can start adding cargo bays. So once I collect enough loot, I can add a nice big huge cargo bay here and do that. And then I have a whole bunch of room right here, and then of course these things aren't pathways, so just make sure you're following the pathways, and you can just move this stuff around like this. And these pathways are still not done because we need at least one doorway in there somewhere, and then you can just keep adding more doorways once you get more loot and stuff like that. But right now we can't do that because it costs too much money, but that is the ship design, and hopefully you got a good look at it, the basic parts right here that you can just put together right right at the start of the game. So you can put that together right at the start of the game, and you can hire 2 crew members and be 10 out of 12 for your crew members, and then you don't have to worry about nothing. And this is a pretty powerful ship to start with, having, you know, everything functions really well and stuff like that. So let's go off to start a new game again, and start off with the other ship. So the other ship, you might want shields, because, you know, lots of people do, and then you get more value off of it too. So you're going to get more value off of it. It's just you're not going to have as powerful of a ship for offensive, but you are going to have a more powerful defensive ship. And as you can see, this is pretty defensive with the shield generator and the armor plating right here. But you just have the 2 weapons, and this is, you know, the basic standard ship that you get right here. Got some extra armor, but your reverse thrusters is just 1. You're not going to be able to outrange guys, because, you know, small thrusters is going to cut it. You're not going to go backwards fast enough to outrange them, so we have to modify this. So let's go there. And there's too many modifying things for this one ship right here, because there's also possibilities and stuff like that. So let's get started on the first one. Actually, I got 1, 2, 3, and one with no shields, basically. So right here, this is a kind of a blocky design right here, and we still have some of the armor, which is nice, so we can survive longer. But we just added some, you know, we topped up our thrusters here and added some reverse thrusters. We can move these around if we wanted to different positions and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to keep them here. You can move these thrusters, everything up higher to closer to the power supply if you wanted to. Like, it's not a big issue. You could have your thrusters up here like that if you wanted to. Click on it properly. My mouse sucks, so just put everything up here like that, and then we can just delete this excess stuff right here, and there you go. It's the same price. So just moving everything over like this, and now their pathways are a little bit closer. But I like the one on the back myself, but yeah, you could do this way or the other way. Just move them around as you see fit. Either or, it doesn't matter. This one will have more access to power type of a deal. We should move this thing right there. So that's a bad placement for a door. So we can get rid of that door and then delete that door right there. There you go. And now that's a little bit better, so they can get in there a lot faster. So you can check your pathways just by hovering over top of stuff, and then you get your crew members, which are going to take a while to travel everywhere. So yeah, just mix and match. This is, you know, what I built for my basic starting ship, and this one here only starts off with 6 crew, and then you just gotta, you know, you make it so, and this is enough cash to buy 2 more crew members, and then you're not worrying about that. So you got your shield generator going. You're pretty defensive. You got expansion places right here that you can add on there. It's a little bit of armor, but so yeah, start expanding down here with some cargo bays. Be a little bit more defensive. You're not going to be as fast as the other ship, but a big thruster going in reverse is going to make a nice big difference too. And with the shields in there, you're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be super fast. So let's go on to the next design right here. In case you don't like this one, let's go to number 2. So number 2, this one here is a little bit more, you know, T-shaped type of a deal. We have less armor up at the front since, you know, we have shields. We don't really need it that much in the lasers, and everything is done right here. The crew quarters is a little bit closer, so it's a little bit tighter up here for the crew, managing the shields and the guns. And we've got a crew down here to manage the, you know, the thrusters and stuff, and we have more thrusters. So we added some more small thrusters to give us more speed. So this version right here is for upgrading a little bit easier for weapons and for speed. So we have this a little bit more speed done, and then once we get, you know, more money, we can change these small thrusters to large to the regular thrusters instead of having small thrusters. So we can upgrade that. We have room up here to add more lasers to our design at any time, and then we can start moving the crew quarters out of the way type of thing and add a cargo bay in the middle for movement and stuff like that, and then, you know, add more or just add another crew quarters, you know, stick a double crew quarter thing on the top right there, because you're having more lasers and stuff like that. And then we have more room over here on the bottom for thrusters, and of course we have room at the bottom to expand as you see fit once you get more stuff and carry it. We got a little bit extra room, but we got room over here for more thrusters even too, so and stuff like that. And of course convert these to cargo bays as soon as you can, so you actually have not empty space. But I left the empty space there on purpose for the actual room, so you actually get stuff done and have room for upgrading and adding engines and stuff like that, and have, you know, the extra space, and then you can convert this to cargo bays, so you actually have real cargo bays. But so as soon as you get enough, you're going to be able to have some small cargo bays to this design right here, and it's, you know, better for speed and for, you know, enhanced for stuff like that. So I added this in here just because, you know, you might want some options. See what you can do at the start of the game. So this is the next version right here. This is the heavily armored version right here. So we got more heavy armor up this front right here. and it's still, and the crew quarters are up here at the top. As you see, it's the wider version, and we have less, thrusters basically. We still got the big major thrusters, one big and one small for the direction, so we're okay for the speed. We got the extra armor and stuff to protect ourselves from the shields. It's just more defensive and blocky, and then easy expansion. So this is like the easy mode right here. So if you build this design right here, you're going to have your defenses, extra defenses up front. You're going to have an easy mode for cargo, and adding more cargo is a big slot fits in there perfectly, basically, right? You need to keep adding cargo as you're going by, and then you fill it up, and then you sell all your cargo, and then delete these things and get your money back after for selling them all, that kind of thing. So delete all this stuff here. Stay on delete. Stay on delete. Just hold it. Here we go. Delete it all off. We got your money back. We can buy our crew. So this is keeping the shield nice and defensive, nice and blocky. This is probably the best one to recommend to start with, to keep with the shields. Because you can add more weapons up here instead. You can get rid of the armor and get your money back, type of a deal, if you want. It's just, it's all up to you. But let's go to the next version right here. This one here I designed for using no shields, basically. So when you start the game right here, and you get the shields, you get the blueprints. This is the same ship, so you get to keep the blueprints for your shields, but we're just not using them. Instead, we added some point defense systems, and you can rearrange this as you see fit. You can put the point defense on the outside if you want. It makes no difference. It's probably better to do that. We can check out the range on there. Yeah, so we want the overlapping at the front. So we could change these out there if we wanted to. Oops. But yeah, so put you there, go back to the lasers, and put you back in there properly. And yeah, so this is on the side, so we can actually lower this down. And this time click on it properly. There you go. Lower this down here. There you go. And delete that. That's why we modify it. And it's a little bit less money to do it this way too, because we saved on space, but we're not going to get the arc. That's the problem. We're not going to get the arc on this, so you're definitely going to want to keep that moved up, and there goes the money back again. And we get the whole doorway stayed the same. So yeah, you want to be able to keep your firing arc to be able to fire in front of you, and it's still getting cut off a little bit by the weapons. I don't know if that's going to affect it or not. It won't affect it too much, but at least you have point defense systems that are going to be running. And as you can see, the power supply isn't enough. The crew members aren't enough. That's suggested, as I said before. You're not going to be using point defense all the time. It's just they're going to store it. They're going to stock it up for you, and you got your supply of power in there, and they're going to use that automatically to fire at anything that comes at you. So anything that's going to come at you is going to fire it off. You're not going to have your shields. It's not defensive, but you got 4 lasers. Everything is nice and tight and blocky, and easy expansion for everything later on. So your cargo bays are going to be easily expanded. You got your decent speed, and you got a whole bunch of weapons with point defenses added on there because you want to be a little bit defensive versus starting with the other ship right here. And we have this much money left over, which is just enough to hire 4 crew members. So you're going to end up with the same number of crew members as the other ship. This is just a different version of one with having point defense and less, thrusters, type of a thing. So it's a mix and match on what you see fit. So you can pick whichever one you want, whatever suits, whatever floats your boat the best is going to be the best design for you. So let's get started on here, and let's load up the one, number 3 right here. So let's load up this one here, and it's because as the easiest one to actually worry about armor, and it's just the most defensive one here. And it's just after you get the blueprints done, it's just make it so. After you've done that, now we have room for crew. We have to wait for them to get the command points, and there we go. Got the command points in there. Now we can hail the station and hire our crew. 2 crew, there we go. And now we have a little bit of money left over. Wait for your crew in this game. That's right here. The little crew, they have the little EVAs. We can move our ship a little bit closer for them, pick them up a little bit faster. Wait for them to actually be on the ship before you move, or they're gonna, run out of air and die. So there we go. We got our ship. And if we want to see where the quests are, we can just go back in here again and pick up all these quests, so we can see where everything is, versus just flying around randomly and finding stuff. So yeah, all this stuff right here is nice. Let's go to this one right here. Let's speed it up. Oh, I'm pausing, that might help too, yeah. So let's speed up and show you an example of combat before we end this, to show you that the designs work pretty well, and the basic combat. There we go, we got into combat. We'll slow it down a little bit and get a little bit closer to the guy until he sees us, and make contact with him a little closer. There, he saw us. Let's just go a little bit faster. There we go. And we can see the ship right here. So when you get into combat like this, it's going to slow down to 1 automatically unless you turn that setting off, which you can do. And then this is your thing. Is click and hold, and that is your firing range. So this is our firing range. So we're going to come right up to here. And now the thing is, this game will move your ship to that point as fast as possible, then stop, and then go in reverse, which is really bad when you have low thrusters. So that's why you want low thrusters, so you can stop on a dime. This guy is in combat with this ship right there, so that's going to make it easier. And we you're firing at it right now. So you can also pick the targets you want to fire at, which is of course recommended. And there at the start right there, he's already toasted. So this is like an easy fight right here. So we can take out his small reactor, and you don't want to worry about the cockpit anymore. His reactor's almost toast. He's got no weapons. This isn't a fair fight. We can just go in there and do that. Yeah, it's dead. He picked a fight with somebody he shouldn't have. But let's go to the next guy and do a better fight. Do our own fight, not a gangbang like that. If we could go in there and loot all that stuff, the guy's dead. We get rewards for it. Asteroid field. This isn't moving. This looks like it's a station basically, which is easier to fight. So we get a little closer to see it. A little bit closer. There we go. So now we're close enough to see the space station, and we have the auto thing right there. And we can check out its weapons. And right now it has, what is that, point defense weapons? Come on. There's one clicking. This is paused. You know. Anyways, let's go over there, and this is. How come I can't click anything? Maybe we're not too far away. Probably let's go. Whoa, too close. Reverse. Oh. That was bad. Too fast. Let's go and click on it properly. That's what you do properly. Let's go down to a regular speed so we're going too fast. I damaged my ship by accident. And there we go. Now we're firing at it. Now I can click on it. I guess I was too far away, but I was close enough. So we can click on the cockpit there, and secondary, that's how you do it. But yeah, this ship can't really do much to you. It's just point defense platform. So this isn't a real combat type thing. So let's speed it up. Let's blow it up there. It's toast. Let's move up here, and then it's just G and drag and drop, and then keep it on fast, and then we just harvest all the resources. And there you go. And this is the repair button right here, since I screwed up and some of the stuff was broken, and now it's pretty heavily damaged on the reverse thrusters. I lost a thruster here, and I can mix and match like the one to fix that. But this right here is repair all. We'll fix it all, and then you won't make that mistake with fast clicking and going fast on the game like I did there. I was just trying to go fast and waste less time. Let's move up here. This is another space station. There we go. Let's wait for this ship to come after me. Is he coming? Where did he go? Did he attack that? Did the bad guy attack the other bad guy? What a dumbass. Anyways, I guess we'll just go over here. I don't want to attack a space station. That's too easy. Let's attack a regular guy. There we go. Okay, let's slow her down and get in there properly. So you just zoom in like this, come in nice and slow, get it within range. He'll come after you. There's the ship. It's only a level 1. But we'll just go to max range and get going, and then we'll watch our ship. See, the ship is flying down there, and then it will stop, and then it will go. And then as soon as you're within the your field of view, you can actually pick your targets. You don't have to wait as long as I did. And we can see here what weapons he has. I don't know how to do this. This kind of sucks, but he's got laser blasters on the side and his reverse thrusters and stuff like that. So all at the front, but so we can just pick and choose what our targets are, which would probably be, yeah, it's going to be heavily armored, so I'm just going to focus on that, destroy that anyways. We'll worry about that, and we'll take our damage, and this stuff should be bouncing off our shields, right? Since we got a shield design, it's bouncing off our shields. We only have 2 lasers, so the combat is taking longer, and there's his ship getting damaged right here, and all our shields are just getting pounded. Our shields are getting pounded on, but that's why we're defensive, and they're not. And they don't have any defenses, and we were tearing apart their armor, and straight through the ship, boom, dead. So yeah, that's how easy it can be, because you're defensive, and I took no damage. So let's speed this up. So yeah, with the shields on, took no damage. You fight other laser guys, and there's the advantage right there at the start of the game with having shields versus not having them. So now I can pick up all the loot right here, and as you see, I'm not going to pick it up at all because I don't have enough cargo space, but since I'm actually getting loot, I can actually start adding cargo spaces on here, so we can just do that. And I'm going to room for another one, and that's all I got enough money for. But yeah, and doing so, it ended up collecting all the loot because I was on fast, right? I had it selected and it did it on the fly. And we got a question mark right here, so you can explore these. There is little things like ships in here, but this turns out to be gold. So AU for gold, and we are going to manage them. So most of the time you need a mining laser. Sometimes you don't need a mining laser for everything. These ones here you need a mining laser for, but right now I just got some free gold. And they're going to collect that. So not all of it. So you go want to mark it on your map, go like that, and just just mark it off easy. Make it easy for yourself. Hey, you got some gold in there. So when you get a mining laser, you can come back and get it. And we can check out our cargo. We got, where's our gold? It doesn't show the card. It doesn't show the gold on here. Bad guys. It should show the gold on here, but it's just not doing it for some reason. Anyways, we have gold in our storage. Can you see how much gold? Yeah, 10 gold right there. There we go, 10 gold. So yeah, we got 10 gold. Sells pretty good. But anyways, that is it. Hopefully you got started, and you know how easy it can be if you have the proper ship designs and you got the basics done. So that's the basics of the game. Go around, do your missions, and kill stuff, and then start making your ship bigger and bigger, and you know, add more and more stuff to it. So that is it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Let's come in here. We'll just pick our max range right away, and then we'll just watch it go. So, level 1 ship. We're pounding it away. It is a missile ship. Yeah, so good luck on hitting me with Cannon Boy. You're not going to do anything, and since you're dead, we'll just start taking out your reactor core, and then we'll loot you, because, you know, we have max range. You can't do nothing, and we are going backwards. And this is the manual mode right here. It really sucks for moving around, but you can tell how fast your ship is going backwards. So right now my reverse is 82. So there you go. There you have it. So now you know how fast you are. You can go backwards, and we have our 80 something forward. Yeah, 89 forward. So you can tell your speed, and that's going to change as you add more space and cargo room and stuff like that. But yeah, you got the gist of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.